there's a little question here about, the footprints in the sand, and I can't, I wish I could or did count the number of days where it was just that, there was long stretches on the beach for me where there was just two footprints in the sand, because there was days where it was just impossible to get up without his help, it just and at the same time, it's been 8 years since it happened, and I'm beginning to see even God in his wisdom understood the future events and allowed me to be in a place where, because I was a single parent, because my children were growing up, I was able to go a couple years ago and to really be there for my parents in their last days. And I'm not sure that any of that would have been possible previously, not that I ever would wish for what I want to God, but it's amazing. God's plans are above our ways. I mean, he's able to take situations that in all reason could not be worked for good and work them for good, and over the course of time, my relationships with my kids have grown, gotten better, healed. There's healing taking place in my family on an ongoing basis. There's struggles every day, as with most families, but it's there's a question here also about being involved in ministry. So far, after 8 years of this, my ministry is still to my kids, most of all. And I love meeting with others. I love small groups. I love ministering in groups, but I haven't been able to bring anything but that to the primary ministry in my life, is trying to nurture my kids into their adulthood. And if I had a chance to do it over again, there's another question here. If it's something I could change, I wouldn't be divorced. And yet, I know that my choices were in there too. So, but I trust God that He allowed this thing to happen in my family, because He's going to work it to His glory if I let Him, and as I surrender to Him, and as my kids surrender to Him, and even my ex surrenders to Him, glory can come, because who God is, and certainly not who we are. And down the road, I've been asked to talk a little about the future, and the future holds for me, I pray and hope that I'll just continue to serve Him in ways that He sets before me. The last 3 years, I've traveled a lot. I've ministered and been ministered to by people across the country, and I continue to drop in on people all across the country who have been Mauiites in the past, and hopefully, and just encourage one another. We're supposed to meet together, so that's what I hope to be able to do, whether it be here on Maui or somewhere else. Life changed drastically that day, and for the last 8 years, my service to the Lord has changed in many ways, but most of all, just God has given me different ways I never would have thought to get to know Him and be carried by Him and serve Him, and doors have opened to me that never would have opened to me otherwise. And but one of the things I never thought I would experience in my life is trying to raise 3 children on my own, and that's going through a divorce is paralyzing to you in so many ways that there were countless days when I would, not countless, but many days where I would just lay on my bed, not want to get out of bed, and just pray and ask God for the grace to stand up and walk in various experiences, in serving the Lord. You serve Him wholeheartedly, and you serve in different ways, and I've had the capacity to serve Him as pastoring and teaching from the pulpit and leading groups. Ironically to me, and yet God is who He is, I think I had more people come up to me after everything fell apart and said, I respect your walk with the Lord now. And it's like, I'm talking about humbling. It's like, what was I doing, But by great, but at the same time, praise God. If somehow they can see Jesus in our lives or in my life, even through the stuff, praise God, because, it's just a testimony as to who He is, His power and His ability to hold you up in the worst of circumstances. So that surprised me when people would do that, but yet, praise God, their faith grew, and I guess, I'm supposed to say here, if this had to happen for their faith to grow, I guess I'll say it in faith, but as long as my kids make it through this, and they're doing well, praise God.
How's your relationship with them?
My daughter, who's now married and has a baby, is doing better. I mean, she understands. I don't think she gets all of it, but she understands the need for Jesus in her life, and I see her making just good decisions to that end. I would say that there's unresolved stuff, and if I was probably more confrontational, I would confront it, but there's been healing. There's been growing. It grows with Sam all the time, my middle son. And with Seth, it's a constant constant adventure. But he's slow. Again, the kids are growing in the Lord. Not ever. I don't think any child could grow as fast as a parent wants them to grow. But I hope that's true for our life, my life, that I'm not growing as fast as I want me to. So, but the relationships are good. It takes a while. I mean, I have a broken home, and it's so there's brokenness, and there's brokenness in all of our relationships. But praise God, they're all getting better, and we're working through stuff, and that's a good thing.